What is up, my beautiful soul family? It is your girl Dayana, and I'm back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about how you can determine your own worth. I have written an entire article about this. It's on my Substack. It goes deep into detail. If you really want to really get into the nitty gritty of how I shifted into this mindset, go read the article. I'm just creating this video for my girlies and my guys that don't like reading. This isn't going to be the full in-depth version because I want you to go read. Go read a fucking book, okay? Go read something. Get off these videos, okay? But this isn't going to be the super in-depth version. This is going to be a condensed version of what the article says. The article isn't that long. It's probably about like a 5 to 8 minute read. And it's on my Substack, my newsletter. Go subscribe to my newsletter. My newsletter is going to be where I share all my deepest insights and introspections and mindset shifts and the things that I do to live a happy and joyful life. The mindsets that I have to cultivate in order to survive, not only survive, but thrive and enjoy myself and just share my joy and my energy with people. So my Substack is going to be where I share those things. Every other platform, I'm going to be condensing what I put on my Substack because I want you to go subscribe to my Substack, okay? It's free right now so that I can build trust with my audience and build a following, but one day it will be paid. But I suggest you go get it while it's free right now. So with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on all my other platforms. I also model and dance and things like that. I'm not just a writer. I'm a writer, but I model, I write, I dance. Instagram, you want to see me modeling and dancing? Go to my Instagram. You want to see me write? Go to my Substack. You know what I'm saying? We building our social media presence, okay? I'm so excited. Okay. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So, how you can determine your own worth. First, I just want to start off by, sharing my story with it. I used to believe that my worth was measured by how much that I achieved. And as we know, with this society in America, people, we've been taught to determine our worth by our jobs and our work and what we can provide for society. Some people also tie their worth to community and their relationships and their kids and things like that. And I was definitely one of those people that tied my worth to community and career work. So in my head, if I wasn't productive, if I wasn't helping other people, if I wasn't useful, then what am I doing here? What is the point of my existence? In my head, if I'm not being useful or productive, I'm just a fucking meat suit. In my head, it was like, if I'm not helping or contributing in any sort of way, what the fuck am I here for? You get what I'm saying? Ooh, I didn't mean to curse. I'm trying to be professional, but fuck it, man. Personality. Oh, okay, but like I was saying, that's what society tells us. They tell us that if we aren't contributing to society, if we aren't helping other people, if we aren't doing something, we are worthless. We are valueless. We have no value. We can see that in our society, there's a hierarchy system, and the more status you have, the more value you have, the more worthy you are. That's what society tells us. That's what we've been taught. And for a long time, I believed that. I tied my value to how much that I can contribute, my work, relationships, even how I can fix people. I'm a healer, so I feel like all healers go through this stage where they're fixing people and shit like that. I definitely attached my value to that, and I really attached my value and my worth to my insights and my wisdom and my knowledge. And every single time somebody would come and tell me, oh, you're not old enough, you don't have enough experience to be talking about these things, I felt so invalidated because the amount of healing and trauma and mindsets and emotions that I had to feel and sit with and release and overcome in order to have the wisdom that I have right now. The second somebody told me you're not old enough, my existence felt invalidated, and it made me feel so powerless. And if I'm learning anything, is that my mission, I love helping people feel powerful. I want you to feel powerful. You are a powerful being and your existence is valid. And so I want to help people reclaim their power without, taking other people's power. You can be powerful and so can they. So whenever people invalidated my experiences, I felt powerless, and I don't like feeling powerless. So I had to come to this realization, okay, the reason I'm feeling powerless right now by what this person said is because I am using them to validate myself. I'm using external validation to determine my worth. So I had this realization that my worth isn't something that I have to earn. It's not tied to my job. It's not tied to my success. It's not tied to what I give to others. It's inherent because I exist. So once I detached my self-worth from external value, from external validation, my entire mindset just completely shifted. And so I kind of want to talk about, before I kind of get into the nitty-gritty details of how I specifically shifted that mindset, I kind of want to talk about the problem with external validation. And so I guess the problem is that we've been conditioned by society to seek external validation. Because if you really think about it, from childhood, we're praised for good grades, we're praised for being helpful, we're praised for achieving things. And so we learn that our worth is based on what we do rather than who we are. And some signs that you could be stuck in this cycle of seeking external validation is you feel anxious when you're not being productive. You base your self-esteem on how others perceive you. Ooh, that's a big one. You constantly seek approval to feel good enough. Failure makes you question your entire identity. The biggest issue with external validation, it is unreliable. It is unstable. The second somebody invalidates you, all of a sudden those feelings of unworthiness just comes back up. No, that there needs to be a stable foundation for how you feel worthy. You have to base your worth off of something that cannot be taken away from you, something that you know for a fact that's not going to leave you, like your presence. Your presence. You are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Nobody is going to die in that grave with you. Only you. So you can't control how other people see you. One day they love you, the next day they don't, and if your worth is based off of their approval, your self-esteem will always be at their mercy. Your self-esteem will always be going like this, just fluctuating. That's the problem with external validation, continuing to base your worth off of other people's approval. It's unreliable, it's unstable, and you will never be happy. It'll never be enough. That's also one thing I realized, that determining my worth off of external validation is not, it always had me feeling like I was never enough. You know how people climb to the top of their corporate ladders and they climb to the top of their mountains with their goals, and they get to the top and they still feel like they're not enough? They still feel like it's not enough. They still feel like there's either no emotional fulfillment, there's a lack of intimate relationships, or there's just this fear of losing it all. They never feel satisfied. They never feel whole. You know why? Because they based their worth and their value off of other people's validation, off of external validation. Before I get into the mindset shift, I just want to break down the law of compensation really quickly, because I understand that people are supposed to contribute to society so that we can all, function as a whole. And I completely agree with that. I agree with that. What I'm saying is the value you bring to others is not the same as your self-worth. And this is where I introduced the law of compensation. So the law of compensation says that the more value you provide to others, the more you receive in return, whether it's money, status, recognition. That is how the world works in terms of exchange. So the more value you create for others, the more you're going to receive something in return. You're going to receive, however the universe wants to give you something, they're going to give it to you based on the amount of value you create. This is different from your self-worth because Your self-worth is based on who you are when you're not doing anything. Your self-worth is who you are when you're not taking any actions, who you are when you're just being. So people can get this mixed up because it's like, okay, they see someone that's more successful, they see someone that's more famous, they see someone that's more skilled at creating value, and then they see that as like, oh, this person is more worthy than me. They're more worthy as a human being. But that's not true. Your worth is constant. Who you are is constant. Your external value, what you offer to others, that changes. They are separate. Just to give a quick example, a highly successful musician might be paid millions because their music provides a lot of value to society. But that doesn't mean that they are more worthy than somebody who isn't famous. It just means that they have learned to create more value in the marketplace. They are more skilled at creating value in the marketplace than the person who isn't famous. So let's talk about the mindset shift. I am worthy because I exist. When you attach your worth to a state of being, to presence, your worth is not determined by what you do. It's something that you recognize. You recognize your worth has nothing to do with achievements, and it comes for your presence. It comes from the fact that you just exist and that you are already whole. So that way, when you attach your worth to just a state of being, a state of presence, it means as long as I'm present with myself, I am worthy. And even when you aren't, and even on the days where you just don't want to be present with yourself, you just need a quick little escape, the mindset also helps. It somehow, some way, you still feel worthy. And just from my experiences, like, I'm always present with myself, but I'm also a human being, and sometimes I just don't want to face that shit right now. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So even when I'm not present, there's always this voice in the back of my head, like, I know I'm still worthy. This is just me temporarily escaping right now. I just need a break from presence. I'll get back to it when I'm ready to face it, or I'll get back to it when it needs to be faced. You are still worthy even when you're doing nothing, when you're goofing off, when you're being silly, when you're working hard, when you're sharing your work, your insights, when you're creating, when you're resting, when you're doing nothing. You are still worthy. When you attach your worth to a state of being, to presence, you're still worthy. So how you can shift into this mindset is, first of all, you have to detach your worth from productivity. Your value does not disappear when you rest. It doesn't. Your value does not disappear when you're sitting there doing nothing. You are still worthy. You're still worthy. You're still valuable. You're valuable because you exist. You're worthy because you exist. The second thing is you have to trust that you are enough. No accomplishment will ever complete you. No person will complete you. No experience will complete you. You have to trust that you are enough in this moment as you are. And if you don't trust that you are enough in this moment as you are, there's a call for you to sit with why you believe that. There's a call for you to sit with all the beliefs that's stopping you from believing that you are not enough. You have to trust that you are enough. You have to trust that what you do is enough. And you have to trust that you're going to get to where God wants you to be whenever it's time for you to get there. You have to trust that it's not possible for you to make a mistake, because everything is a learning experience. Everything is teaching you something. Every moment, all of it is teaching you something. Going through it for a reason. You're going through it so you can learn something that's going to help you get to the next level. And so this third thing on how to shift to this mindset is focus on being present. Focus on being present. Now, this is not easy. I know presence forces you to face your feelings. Presence forces you to face your emotions. It forces you to face your triggers. It forces you to face the parts of yourself that you're avoiding. So you have to learn how to be present, and you have to learn how to be present, and you have to learn how to recognize that your presence alone is powerful. Your presence alone is powerful. Once I started to believe this, I felt free. As if I didn't really have to prove myself anymore. I could create, I could rest, I could live, and I could not fear being not enough. Like, I'm not afraid to not be enough anymore. I can create from spaces of curiosity instead of fear. I create because I want to, because I'm curious about it, not because I feel like I have to survive. You know? It just shifting from this mindset of believing that I'm worthy simply because I exist and because I am present. It's so much easier to not take offense to somebody who treats me like I'm not enough or like I'm not worthy. Like, usually I'd be like, this is disrespectful. They just disrespected the fuck out of me. But now I'm like, what they did was disrespectful, but instead of me sitting here trying to prove to them that I deserve to be respected, I'm going to speak up about it. I'm going to say something, and if the behavior doesn't change, I'm going to leave. I don't have anything to prove to you. I know I'm worthy. Shifting to this mindset has literally, like, I just spaced. It was right there. That was such a good thought. That was such a fire-ass thought. Shifting from this mindset of believing that I am worthy simply because I exist has put me in it has strengthened my sense of security. It has strengthened my sense of security within myself, security when it comes to who I am and my self-esteem and my confidence. Ooh, y'all. The confidence is sexy. Okay? The confidence is sexy. I feel sexy. Because it's like, I'm worthy even if you don't fucking like me. Oh my God. Oh my God. I feel good. Do y'all feel good? I feel good. Okay? So I guess everything really, really changed for me when I stopped seeking approval and started focusing on my own presence. This is just the beginning of this conversation. If this really resonated with you, I go even deeper on my Substack. Like I said in the beginning, it's my latest essay. My Substack, my publication, it's called Fierce Leaders, and it's where I teach people how to go from fear-based beliefs to self-trust and liberation. And I break down practical steps to rewire your subconscious for self-worth. I explore the psychology behind it, and I even share more of my personal journey in the article, in the essay that I wrote. So if you want more, if you just want more, join me on my Substack and we can build the conversation together. The link will be in my description. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you do go check out my Substack. I feel it really, y'all, like, I'm deeply proud of it. Okay, it's just in its beginning stages right now, but the work that's already being produced to be published on my Substack, I'm very deeply proud of it, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. So peace, love, and blessings, and I hope to see you in the next video.